Hello and welcome. My name is Vinay Shindhe and welcome to yet another episode of Prabhav, that is the New Year specials, getting our way into 2025. And there is no better way to start this season than have my one and only very guest, Chansi Krishnamurthy. Uh, before I have Chansi Krishnamurthy have a word in with us and say welcome to all our lovely viewers watching the show today, a quick background into Chansi, that she has played for the Indian team at all given categories under 21 of age group. She has represented the Karnataka State Cricket Associations at a lot of tournaments and has also represented the KPL League, the biggest women's cricket league in our country so far. First off, Chansi, I really welcome you over to our podcast.
Thank you so much.
I think it's the first very intro to have in for a session for the year 2025. How does it feel? I think I was having a word with you before this podcast, and you told me it's your first ever live interview that you've given on a visual medium. How does that feel altogether?
I am pretty nervous. I've given audio interviews and stuff a lot of times, but this is my first video interview. I'm nervous. Yeah.
All right, that's amazing. So, Chansi, first off, I want to ask you that you've had such an incredible journey to how you made it so far until the Indians women's cricket team. And just a quick breakdown, what are the hurdles that you had to face in your career coming along this very journey? Because you're still very young, right? So, what were there any hurdles? Like, how did you just get up and decide to be a cricketer? Where did it all start from?
I was very good at studies when I was a kid. I used to get 90 plus almost all the time. Like I wanted to pursue my career in studies as well, but it was probably when I was 12 or 13. I joined my first camp with one of my cousin brothers because I was very bored in summer camp, summer. So I joined a camp and it was like fine. I just left it there. Then after a year or so, I went to another ground where one of my coaches, Kiran, he saw me and he's like, probably you should start. Then from there, I started, and in a month, I traveled to Sri Lanka with the guys. So I was pretty good there. In another 2-3 months, I went to the KC under 16 selections. I was there in the under 16 probs, like under 16, top 20 in the state. So I thought probably let's try cricket out too. Then in a year or two, I started playing for under 16, under 19 and under 23. So I thought maybe this is my path.
All right, that is amazing. You told you started in very young, from a very young age, and you told you were doing very well with your studies altogether. Starting a cricketing journey, which requires a lot of discipline for a sport, what was at stake growing up in your career? What do you think was put at stake? Probably at some point you felt that, okay, probably my high school life or my school life is being put at stake. The normal parties or the gossips I have with friends is altogether different. Or you still had that playing with your cricketing peers as well?
I would say it was way better with my cricket friends because they are more, they're more towards what we work for too. We have similar thinking, and I think I have never missed my school life or my college life. Though I haven't attended school or college for the past 5-6 years, probably I've gone for a month or two, that's it in total. I think my life has been way better with my cricket friends than I would say with my school friends till my 8th or something. I have very less school friends though, probably 1 or 2, but I think cricket friends, they have covered up for it.
That's amazing. Growing up, I think in a field such as cricket especially, which is such passion-driven field, and would you say who was your biggest mentor or motivator throughout the entire journey to constantly keep you going? Because fun is in its own place, but after a point, it's about a lot of hard work, dedication that constantly goes into the sport. So at that time, people that you surround yourself around matter a lot. So who do you say was that constant mentor pushing you to do well even in situations when you were down or not feeling like it was my game day?
Parents, obviously. Be it a good day or a bad day, they've always had my back.
If I'm not wrong, your dad drove you over to the interview today.
Yeah,
if I'm not wrong.
My mom and dad, from when I was 12 or 13 until today, they pick me up, drop me to all the matches, all the games. They come to most of my practice sessions. They drive me wherever I go, school, college, practice, matches, everywhere. So I think that's been the biggest support. The best I could have asked for.
It's amazing. That's really good to hear. And what about in terms of your coaches? Who do you say is your best coach? Was your dad probably the first reason, your mom and dad the first reason for you to start cricket altogether? How did that kick?
Yeah, my dad did send me to a camp because I used to do nothing during summer.
That's how it started off.
Yeah, because I have grown up with a lot of cousin brothers, so I am that boyish side there. So my dad was like, anyways, you're not doing anything at home, you go with them. So one of my first coaches, Kiran, like I said, I think he's had played a very big role in my cricket life. Till now, I've been going to him for like 8-9 years now. Till date, I go there like almost every day. I talk to him about what mental stuff, aspects and stuff. So I think he's played a very big role in my cricket.
All right. And would you say cricketing is in the family in a way of sort? Because you told your cousins were in the camp, your family was in the camp as well.
They left cricket after that 1-2 years, but I've continued.
That's awesome. Growing up, who's been your role model in terms of a cricketing idol that you've always looked up to, and you're like, yeah, this person inspires me to want to do better, want to play every game better than the previous day or previous match?
I look up to MS Dhoni a lot. More than his game, I think the way he thinks on the field, because I've led a lot of games for Karnataka in under 19 and under 16 and maybe NC, under 19 NC and stuff. So I think I look up to MS Dhoni a lot. I'm his biggest fan, I could say.
Thala for a reason.
So I think he's been my biggest cricketing idol.
All right. And when it comes to the women's league, I mean, it's been blowing up and emerging altogether massive. And I think India as a country has one of the biggest market in terms of women's cricket sporting. So who would you say you'd idealized in the women's cricket?
I think if it was old ones, I think Shanta Rangaswamy, she was the first Indian cricketer to ever lead India, the first one to score a century, the first one to hit a six and stuff like that. I think even she's played a very big role in my cricket career. Now I think Veda Krishnamurthy.
You got the chance to share a pitch with her?
Oh yeah, I mean we're very close to her. She is our selected. She was a selected for like when I was playing for state.
It's amazing.
And now Veda Krishnamurthy, I think she's playing with. I mean I'm playing with her. We're playing the same team for like 3-4 years now.
It's amazing.
So I think I look up to her too.
That's really great to hear. Having been part of the Indian team, what has been the biggest takeaway from playing against people internally within the country and people outside? What is the competition like out there, and
the competition
what is the craziness or madness behind the sport?
It is a lot. Like women's cricket has been growing a lot lately, like a lot. I think playing against ourselves, the Indian team, like when I played for India under 19, it was like two teams, India A and India B. So we played against West Indies and Sri Lanka. So there were 4 games. I played probably 3 or something. But I think though you've been playing for like a very long time, there's a lot of things to learn from the others. Like, amongst your teammates, there are like what 20-25 of them, and 20-25 of them give you 20 inputs, and you learn everything, and it like really helps you a lot.
True.
That's I think one good thing about a team game.
True. And would you, like you said, you're an all-rounder, but is there any particular style that you're inclined to, be it batting, bowling, or has there ever been a time that you had to jump from being a leg spinner to trying something else just because you were curious altogether? Does that happen normally once in the Indian team?
No, when I started cricket, I was a pacer.
Okay.
When I was 13-14, but I was very young, and I think I was too slow to be a pacer.
And that's when the shift happened
I
altogether to
shifted to
be a leg
spinner,
spinner.
yeah.
All right, that's amazing. And in terms of batting, you prefer batting?
I prefer batting
altogether?
more. I prefer batting more. I like batting more than bowling, but I am a bowling all-rounder.
And what about Dhoni? I think you're kind of idolizing him in a way. Does wicket keeping ever come into the picture in some
I
sort of
think
excitement?
wicket keeping is really hard. I mean, I don't think I can stand there with my pads and helmet for all day long.
That's amazing. What is the influence that you believe the cricketing generation in the modern world, at least for the women's side, is having over the youth at the moment? Like, I feel it's blowing up a lot. It's giving scope to a lot of people in our country. A lot of talented sportsmen are coming out showcasing their talent. So what influence do you think that plays overall for a country?
I think, you take under 19 only. In the past 2 years, they won a World Cup, and yesterday they won the under 19 Asia Cup. So I think that is driving a lot of young girls to take up the sport. It's not. They're getting to know it's not just about studying, or it's not just about sports. It's about what you actually love. even you have a career in sports, it's probably giving that message that you even have a career in sports. And even when it comes to the main Indian team, I think they're doing great. And even now, like if I go to my camp, each and every week I see like 2 to 3 new girls, like kids, like 10, 11-year-olds, and it's like
And they all keep getting better than the other every time.
and they keep coming and asking me questions, Akka, how do you do that? Akka, how do you do this and stuff like that? It's like really good.
That's amazing.
Very big impact on this generation, I feel.
That's really good to hear, to know that at least India's women cricket team is also in good hands just as much as the men's team as well. But I have last couple of questions before I conclude the interview altogether. What, according to Chansi Krishnamurthy, means that she's made it? What is the final goal?
I think play for India and actually contribute in winning. Like I want to play for India, but what actually gives us joy is play for any team. But when you know the team has won because of you, it's like surreal. It's
No better feeling than having a World Cup left all together for your country or anything. That's amazing. And this brings us to a final question for the day. And you can just look right across to your camera and you can give the answer straight up. What is the final message you have for people getting into the year 2025? What message should they be jumping into and what mindset should they be jumping into? Because I've had a Yorker of a year for 2024. I'm not going to lie about it. But I'm looking forward to 2025, all inspired. And I'm pretty sure a lot of people would want it out here right now. So, your final statement.
like I said, I think it's not about just focusing on studies or focusing on sports just because somebody else asks you to. So I think it's about what you love the most and what you love doing the most. Probably don't hold back and just go full-fledged.
No better way to say it from a leg spinner, surprisingly, ironically. But it's been your boy Vinay Shindhe from Mentorship Foundation, and we've had the one and only Chandasi Krishnamurthy. It was truly an honor having you over here, Chansi. And before you leave, we want to give you a little token of appreciation from our end, from Mentorship Foundation, for having you over to this interview. We've gotten a little plant here for you, so which we think you could like remember us by once you make it to the Indian team one day. And for more such podcasts and updates on such inspiring and motivational youth stories, watch Prabhav, subscribe to our channel, hit the bell icon, and I will see you until the next episode. Thank you, and until then, next time.